Hello everyone, my name is Olivia and welcome back to another English learning video. Today, we are going to improve our English with a short and simple story. Read every sentence and repeat after me. This method will help you improve your listening skills and pronunciation. Listen carefully. Do not worry about mistakes. Are you ready? My new neighbor left a note under my door every day. Do you want to know what happened? Then watch until the end. Let's begin the story.
My name is Emily Carter. I am 25 years old. I live in Chicago. I work as a graphic designer. I love my small apartment, but sometimes it feels lonely living alone in a big city. This is the story about a new neighbor and the small notes that changed my life. It started on a normal Saturday morning. I heard noise in the hallway outside my apartment. Boxes, footsteps, a man's voice saying, "Careful, that one is heavy." I opened my door a little and looked outside. A young man was carrying a large box into the apartment across from mine. I said, "Oh, hi, are you moving in?" He turned around. He had messy brown hair and a friendly smile. He said, "Yes, I just got the keys this morning. I'm Daniel." I said, "I'm Emily. Welcome to the building." Daniel said, "Thank you. Sorry for all the noise." I said, "It's okay. Let me know if you need any help." He smiled and said, "That's very kind. I might take you up on that." I went back inside, but I felt happy. My hallway had felt quiet and empty for a long time. Now there was someone new. The next morning, I found a small piece of paper under my door. I picked it up. It said, "Thank you for welcoming me yesterday. This building already feels a little less strange. Daniel." I smiled. I did not expect a note. I found a small paper and wrote back, "You're welcome. Let me know if you need directions to anything nearby. Emily." I slid it under his door. The next day, another note appeared under my door. "Found the coffee shop on the corner. Best latte I've had in months. You should try it sometime. Daniel." I laughed a little, alone in my kitchen. I wrote back, "I go there every Sunday morning. Maybe I'll see you there. Emily." That Sunday, I walked to the coffee shop. I ordered my usual latte and sat by the window. A few minutes later, the door opened. It was Daniel. He saw me and smiled. He said, "Emily, I didn't expect to actually see you here." I said, "I did say every Sunday." He laughed and said, "Can I sit with you?" I said, "Of course." We talked for almost 2 hours that morning. Daniel worked as a software engineer. He had just moved to Chicago for a new job. He did not know anyone in the city yet. He said, "It's a little scary, starting over in a new place." I said, "I remember that feeling. I moved here 3 years ago. It gets easier." He smiled and said, "I hope so." From that day, the notes continued. Almost every day, I found a small piece of paper under my door. Sometimes it was something funny he saw on the street. Sometimes it was a question about the neighborhood. Sometimes it was just, "Good morning, Emily." I started looking forward to those notes more than anything else in my day. One evening, there was a knock on my door instead of a note. I opened it. Daniel stood there holding a small paper bag. He said, I made too much pasta. Do you want some? I said, You cook? He said, Badly, but yes. I laughed and said, Come in. Let's eat together instead. That evening, we ate dinner at my small kitchen table. We talked about our families, our jobs, our favourite movies. Daniel made me laugh more than anyone had in a long time. He said, I'm really glad I moved into this building. I said, Me too. Weeks passed. Daniel and I became close friends. We had dinner together often. We explored new parts of the city on weekends. The notes under the door continued. Even though we saw each other almost every day, it became our own small tradition. One evening, I noticed Daniel looked tired and quiet. He was sitting alone on the front steps of the building instead of leaving his usual note. I sat down beside him. I asked, Daniel, is everything okay? You seem different today. He sighed. He said, I got some bad news. My old company back in Boston went out of business. They still owe me 2 months of pay, and I don't think I'll ever get that money. I asked, Is that going to be a problem for you here? He nodded slowly. He said, Rent is expensive in this city. I was counting on that money. I might have to move somewhere cheaper, maybe even leave Chicago. My heart sank. I said, Daniel, I'm so sorry. That's a lot to deal with. He said, I didn't want to tell anyone. I felt embarrassed. I said, You don't have to feel embarrassed. Everyone goes through hard times. Over the next few days, I tried to help in small ways. I introduced Daniel to my manager, who was looking for a freelance web developer for our company's website. I also told him about a smaller, more affordable apartment building 2 streets away, in case he needed it. A week later, Daniel knocked on my door with a huge smile. He said, Emily, I got the freelance job. It pays well. I don't have to move away. I said, That's wonderful, Daniel. I'm so happy for you. He said, I don't know how to thank you enough. You didn't have to help me like that. I said, That's what neighbours are for. He looked at me for a long moment. He said, I think you're more than just a neighbour to me, Emily. I felt my heart skip a beat. I said, I feel the same way. One note said, Some things are easier to say on paper. Coffee this weekend? Just the 2 of us, somewhere new. Daniel. My heart skipped a beat. I wrote back, I would like that very much. Emily. That weekend, Daniel took me to a small restaurant I had never been to before. It felt different from our usual coffee shop visits, more like a real date. Over dinner, Daniel said, Emily, can I tell you something? I said, Of course. He said, Those notes, they started as a way to be friendly. But somewhere along the way, they became a way for me to tell you how I feel, a little bit at a time. I didn't know how to say it directly. I felt my face turn warm. I said, I noticed the notes were getting more personal. He laughed nervously and said, Was it too obvious? I said, Maybe a little, but I liked it. Daniel reached across the table and gently took my hand. He said, Emily, I like you, not just as a neighbour or a friend. I really like you. I smiled and said, I like you too, Daniel. I have for a while now. He smiled the biggest smile I had seen from him. He said, "Then can I ask you properly, in person this time? Will you be my girlfriend?" I laughed softly and said, "Yes, yes, I would like that." Weeks later, one afternoon, Daniel came to my door looking worried. He said, "Emily, I need to talk to you about something." I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "My new company wants to offer me a full-time position in Seattle. It's a big opportunity, but it means leaving Chicago." My heart sank. I said, "Oh, when would you have to go?" He said, "In 2 months, if I accept it." I sat down slowly. I said, "That's really far away." Daniel sat beside me. He said, "I haven't said yes yet. I wanted to talk to you first. I don't want to lose what we have, Emily. But after everything that happened with my old job, this feels like real stability." I thought for a long moment. I said, "Daniel, I don't want you to give up something important because of me, but I also don't want to lose you." We sat quietly together, both unsure of what to say next. That night, I could not sleep. I kept thinking about the past few months, the notes under the door, the coffee dates, the dinners, all the small moments that had slowly built something real between us. The next morning, I found a note under my door. It said, "I made a decision last night. Can you come over, Daniel?" My hands were shaking a little as I walked across the hallway and knocked on his door. Daniel opened it. He said, I turned down the offer. I said, "Daniel, are you sure? That was real stability after everything you went through." He said, "I am sure. There will be other opportunities in my career. But Emily, I don't want to build a life somewhere else without you in it. I would rather stay here and build something real. Slowly, the way we started, one note at a time." Tears filled my eyes. I said, "Daniel, that means so much to me. But I don't want you to regret this decision later." He said, "I won't. I promise you that." I hugged him tightly. I said, "Thank you for choosing us." He said, "Always." A few months later, we sat together on my small balcony, drinking coffee on a quiet Sunday morning, exactly like the first time we met at that coffee shop. Daniel said, "You know, I still have every single note you wrote me." I said, "You kept them all?" He said, "Every one. They're the reason we're here today." I smiled and said, "I kept yours too." He took my hand and said, "Emily, I don't need paper anymore to tell you how I feel. I love you." I said, "I love you too, Daniel." That day, a stranger moved in across the hallway. I only expected a new neighbor, but I found the love of my life.